Hi, I'm Jean Nolte, editor at Fons & Porter.
And I'm Colleen Tauke. I'm the sewing specialist for Fons & Porter. In this tutorial, we will show you how to create the quilt called Beach Ball Bounce.
This is a pretty easy quilt. It's big, probably bed size, and it's made using all 10-inch squares to begin with. So you'll need 80 bright colored 10-inch squares and 80 background 10-inch squares.
Exactly.
So from each of the background squares, we're going to use a special template. These are the Fons & Porter Jumbo Curve Seam Template set. And there's a red one and there's a gray one. On the background fabric, we're going to use the red one, which is called a takeaway template. What we're going to do, you can already see what's going to happen here. When I cut around this, we're going to have a background shape left over. So
Now the simple thing is, because you're already working with a 10-inch square, you just slide the template into a corner and follow the template with a small rotary cutter.
Okay, so we're going to take this away.
Take it away.
This is not used in this quilt. It's for another project, or you can throw it away. From the bright squares, we're going to put that out of the way. We're going to take the fill-in template, and that's printed right on the template. We're going to put it right in the corner, line up those two edges.
And we're going to fill in the space with the color of the stripes of the beach ball.
Oops, I'm a little off there.
Now we're using the smaller rotary blade so they'll line up easily against the template and give you a nice even cut.
So
Always remember to wear a glove to protect your hand.
okay, so we're done with our cutting. And these are the two pieces we're going to use to make a block.
Now, curve piecing. Usually when I say that kind of thing to someone, they go, and they forget to breathe. Take a deep breath. Here, curve piecing isn't as intimidating as a lot of people want to make it out to be. And you notice how nice, wide, open, big curve this is, so we won't have very much of a problem getting these two pieces together. What we're going to do is to go in and fold the fill-in piece in half and pinch, which then leaves a little
nice little crease.
A little tent spot there for us. And we're going to do the same thing with the outer edge. And we're going to pinch it, give it a little crease so we know where the center of that curve is also. Now, to put these two together, remember I've always said, put the smile on top. Hopefully when you're done, you have a smile too. So we're going to lay the smile on top. We're going to match up those little creased areas in the very center. And we're going to take just a tiny little pin bite right into the seam allowance. Not beyond that, because we wanted to be able to shift a little while we're sewing. So we just need a pivot spot there in the center. Then we're going to go to the outer edge. We're going to match up the straight edge, our outside edge. And we're going to take a little bit bigger bite here because we want that to be stable.
Boy, that doesn't look like it's going to fit, but
Yep,
it magically does if you do it with this method.
Exactly. Again, you may have the first, if you've never done curve piecing before, the first block may be kind of your kindergarten block, but once you've practiced these a few times, they will get much easier.
Always a good idea to practice a technique like this before you...
And even if you've done them a lot, and maybe you haven't done one in a while, sit down and just do a practice one. It's a good way to practice patterning your brain so you know what to do. Okay, now we're going to take it underneath the sewing machine. And at the very beginning there, we're going to put the presser foot down on it. Whoops, not on my finger, but how about on the fabric this time? And we're going to start just a couple stitches, and we're going to take the pins out as we get to it.
I always take the pins out. If you don't, you'll hit one. You could break a needle, and that can be very dangerous.
Now, what we want to always be looking for is this outer edge, keeping these two cut edges right together. And you'll just have to walk slowly, be patient.
Yeah, you can't really be in a hurry with this.
This isn't a hurry up and speed down the interstate at 75 miles an hour. It's just a little gentle, lazy curve that we can stitch together.
So you're taking about 5 or 6 stitches maybe, and then stopping and pulling the fabric into place a little bit.
And not pulling a lot. I'm just kind of gently kind of nudging it along.
Fluffing it, we say.
Yeah, exactly. That's how Marianne and Liz always would talk about. Fluffing the fabric back and getting it out of the way so that we can get to our seam allowance.
And amazingly, when you get to that center, you don't have any extra fabric left over. It all worked itself in.
Exactly. There won't be a bubble or anything there. So we keep doing that. and trying to match. See how you can just nudge with stiletto works
I was
great.
gonna say, using that stiletto does help hold things in place, and if you don't have one, there's lots of things. A little skewer.
Skewer works great. A corsage pin, a large T-pin. Just don't hit them with the needle.
You want to keep them out of the way of the needle. That's right.
Just work your way along.
And I think you just have to take it a little bit easy and don't be in too big a hurry.
Actually, but my thing is, I just put on a really good radio station, listen to your favorite music,
There you
and
go.
just stitch along with the music. It
Now,
actually
when
helps create a rhythm.
Right. When you get that out of there, this block is going to tell you which way it wants you to press it.
You take it out.
You see, it just naturally goes toward the background piece.
Opens out like this. Okay, finger piece, crease all along there. Looks like I got a tuck at the very beginning. You know, that happens to all of us, even the best of quilters. That would be a spot there where I would take a seam ripper and just cut 2 or 3 stitches and go back and flatten it out. And
But you're going to see this is going to just...
you can get a perfect curve.
Okay, so that is the block for this quilt. It's just 2 pieces.
Over and over.
Now, you're going to lay them out in rows. We thought it might be easier in the center of the quilt to actually put them together in groups of 4.
Because the end of a beach ball usually has a different variety of stripes that make up the beach ball, so you probably want to find 4 of the prints to put together. So if you plan ahead, you won't end up with 3 pink squares or 3 pink blocks in one beach ball.
And also, it's easier to piece a bunch of these and then connect the 4 patch, if you will, together, and then just put some around the edges.
Plus, it helps make you feel like you've made a big block fast.
Well, this quilt really would go pretty quickly.
Right.
It is a bed-sized quilt, and you could probably make it in a weekend.
Yeah, you could. The other thing is we were thinking earlier about types of fabrics you could use. You could use flannels because you've got wide open curves that would be easy to piece with flannels. And it also isn't a very frilly kind of quilt. So if you're looking for a quilt for a boy, how about go pick out some of those sports related things?
Great.
Wouldn't this make a great basketball quilt? Beach ball,
fun.
basketball, kind of all in the same realm.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today.
To see more of our videos, go to video.fonsandporter.com.